The government was influenced by Greek democracy and by the Roman Republic. Using these paths, the United States of America has become a model for others to follow.
They use the Greek democracy's idea of letting people vote to help on various parts of law. They use the Roman Republic's idea of separation of powers to keep one branch of government or person from being able to control the government.
Putting these together, you can find out that the basis of our government is all about majority rule and the separation of powers.
Another thing that the government incorporates is checks and balances, which is that each branch of government has the ability to overrule the others in some form. Each branch has a specific job it has to carry out.
The executive branch has many different jobs and is headed by the president. People of this branch have the power to make treaties, veto laws, and run the military during times of war.
His final ability is to pardon people or erase everything from their criminal record. The president also can propose laws to Congress, but that is not much a job or ability as just asking them to make something a law.
Our leaders advised by the cabinet, who are a group of secretaries that are there to advise the president. They each have specific jobs to help the country.
A final thing that the branch can do is to appoint ambassadors and members of the Supreme Court.
The legislative branch is made up of two chambers, which are called the Senate and the House of Representatives. Together they make up the Congress.
The main purpose of the legislative branch is to make and pass laws. They can also impeach elected officials, which means to bring charges against an elected official.
The legislative branch is the only branch that can amend, which means to change the Constitution.
The judicial branch runs the courts. It was also made to interpret laws. This branch can declare if laws are unconstitutional. This is done by the judicial levy.
There are many different types of courts, which include Supreme Court, District Courts, and a Court of Appeals. The Supreme Court is for cases that affect the whole country or on an act of terrorism.
District courts are the courts used by the states. The Court of Appeals is the court you can take your trial to if you believe that you're tried unfairly.
Our government is built around checks and balances. Checks and balances was made so that there will be separation between branches. It is so that no one gets more power than another branch.
A branch has power on two other branches. The executive branch, more specifically the president, can reprieve or pardon anyone on trial, no matter what the judicial branch rules. The executive branch, more specifically the president, can veto any laws that the legislative branch passes.
The legislative branch can override presidential veto with a 2/3 vote. Legislative branch has to approve judicial appointment too.
The judicial branch can interpret laws and presidential actions. The judicial branch interprets laws that the legislative branch passes.
In the same way that America has been influenced by the Greek and Roman governments, many other nations have been influenced by America.